Aix-les-Bains, à Chambéry et bien plus encore, Radio Grand Lac vous accompagne sur le 92.1 FM.
Your English Weekly. Your English Weekly. La chronique 100% en anglais de Radio Grand Lac avec Sinead.
Bonjour à tous, ceux qui nous écoutent aujourd'hui en Radio Grand Lac 92.1 FM. Bienvenue à l'émission Your English Weekly, animée par moi-même, Sinead Dupont, professeure d'anglais. L'objectif de cette émission, c'est stimuler la langue anglaise et l'expression anglaise aussi. Chaque semaine, vous découvrez soit un article, une histoire inspirée d'un élève ou d'une étudiante de Your English Workshop ou l'université. Cette émission est aujourd'hui sponsorisée par Your English Workshop, qui est un centre de formation pour l'apprentissage de l'anglais pour les adultes et les enfants certifiés Calliope. Restez à l'écoute dans les 15 prochaines minutes pour notre expression de la semaine et notre conversation en anglais avec Faith Rivière, une de nos professeurs et notre commerciale à Your English Workshop. La leçon de cette semaine est de niveau B1. Hi and welcome back to Your English Weekly. Today we have a new lesson. Our lesson is a B1 level. Today we will be speaking a little slower than average. My guest is Faith Rivière, who is a commercial and teacher in Your English Workshop. Hi, Faith.
Hi, Sinead.
Faith, before we start, do you know the expression to face the music?
I believe the expression face the music means to deal with the consequences or accept the responsibility for something you have done wrong.
So we'll find out at the end if you're right or wrong. So stay tuned for the next 15 minutes to listen to Faith, who is going to be talking today about the Philippines. Faith, could you introduce yourself to the audience, to our listeners?
Of course, with pleasure. Hi, everyone. My name is Faith. I was born and raised in the Philippines. I moved in France in 2010. I'm a mother of 2 lovely kids. I'm currently working part-time at Your English Workshop with Sinead.
Oh, thanks, Faith. So, Faith, today we're going to talk about the Philippines. But before we talk about the Philippines, let's give our listeners some words they're going to hear with this. So can you tell us what composed of means?
It means consist of or made of.
Okay. And we're going to hear merchants and traders.
So it's sort of buyer or seller of commodities.
Okay. Piousness?
It's being extremely devoted or loyal or faithful to something you believe in.
And hospitality?
It's the friendly and generous reception and entertainment of guests, visitors, or even with strangers.
Okay. And recognizable?
Someone you can easily identify.
Pristine?
Something in its original condition or original form.
Yeah, like the lake. The lake at the moment is pristine clear. Typhoons?
A typhoon means a giant rotating storm that brings wind, rain, and sometimes destruction.
Yeah, can also be called a cyclone.
A cyclone, true.
Blooming?
Or flowering, or when it's when a flower opens. Opens.
Okay, fantastic. So today we are going to hear about the Philippines. I'll let you take over now.
Thank you, Sinead. So, the Philippines is an archipelago composed of exactly 7,107 islands, over more than 300 square kilometers of territory in Southeastern Asia between the South China Sea and the Pacific Ocean. It is divided into 3 island groups, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Only about 1/3 of the island is inhabited. The Philippines is named after Prince Philip of Spain by the Spanish explorer Roy Lopez Villalobos. It was during his expedition to the island in the 16th century. In May 2021, the population is 114 million. The official national language is Filipino or Tagalog, but English is the country's unofficial one. From a long history of Western colonial rule, the visits of merchants and traders, the people of the Philippines have evolved into a unique blend of East and West, both in appearance and in their culture. The Filipino character is actually a little bit of all the cultures put together. The close family relations are said to have been inherited from the Chinese. The piousness is inherited from the Spaniards, who introduced Christianity in the 16th century and succeeded in converting the Filipinos to Christianity. Hospitality is a denominator in the Filipino character, and this is what distinguishes the Filipino. The American occupation was responsible for teaching the Filipino people the English language. That's why now we use American English. The Filipinos are divided geographically and culturally into regions, and each regional group is recognizable by distinct dialects. The sturdy and frugal Ilocanos of the north, the industrious Tagalogs of the Central Plains, the carefree Visayans from the Central Islands, and the colorful tribesmen of Mindanao. Tribal communities can be found across the archipelago. The Philippines has more than 111 dialects spoken, owing to the subdivisions of these basic regional and cultural groups. The Philippines is gifted with pristine white sand beaches surrounded by crystal clear waters. It is also home to world-renowned natural wonders like an underground river, rice terraces, incredible diving spots rich in biodiversity, colorful public transportation, unique cooking, lively festivals, and friendly locals regarded as some of the happiest in the world. And about the climate, the first half of the year, from January to May, is the best time to visit the country. November to February is cool, while March to May is hot and dry. June to October is rainy, with the months between July and September characterized by typhoons. The average temperature is 25 degrees. The average humidity is 77 degrees. Some parts of the country, such as Cebu, are warm and comfortable in all season and can be visited throughout the year. Festivals. There are a number of festivals that happen throughout the year, such as the Giant Lantern Festival in December, where participants create gigantic and bright lanterns made from locally sourced materials and parade them around the city. Pinagbenga Festival, or the Season of Blooming, is one of the longest Philippine festivals. During the festival, expect beautiful parade floats made from different flowers. Ati-Atihan Festival, one of the oldest and is known as the best and biggest Mardi Gras in the Philippines.
And today is Mardi Gras, I think.
So yeah, Ati-Atihan, yes.
Okay, fantastic. Now, can you just tell me something maybe about the food?
So I would say the most famous dish, I would say adobo. Adobo is often called the national dish and most certainly the most famous Filipino dish. The flavor is created using vinegar, soy sauce, garlic, bay leaves, and black pepper.
And is there any meat or any fish with it?
we can use pork or chicken.
Okay.
Either pork or chicken.
Okay, fantastic. We only have a couple of minutes left, but just to follow up on that, what part of the island do you come from? Faith?
I came from the Central Plains in Luzon.
Okay. And could one say that anybody who comes from anywhere in the Philippines understands everybody? So, for example, you speak maybe one dialect, but do you understand when the other people speak?
No. 100. There are more than 111 dialects. So, but all Filipinos can understand Tagalog, the national language.
Okay, so you've got the national language and the dialogues on top of it.
No,
No.
because in Luzon, the national language, we talk about Tagalog.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And what's your favorite dish? The one you have just said?
Yeah, actually there are too many to mention, but if I have to pick two, I would say adobo and sinigang. Sinigang, it's a sour soup. The recipe uses shrimp as the main ingredients. So adobo and sinigang.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now, if I wanted to go and visit, is it easy to get there? How would you recommend to our listeners listening today to go and visit the Philippines?
Yeah, for me or for the Filipinos, traveling around is easy. But maybe for you, I would suggest flying is a good way to get around. Probably safer than the roads and certainly safer than ferries.
Okay, so it's probably easier to fly from one city to the next in the Filipinos.
One island to the next.
One island, you're right, excuse me. And where would you recommend visiting?
Probably in Boracay, in Visayas.
Mm-hmm.
There have white sands there. The rice terraces in Banaue.
Mm-hmm.
And Puerto Princesa in Palawan Island.
And I think that they've done a few TV shows out there.
Yeah.
Even for the French.
Yeah, of course, yeah. There are many French there in Palawan.
Okay. So, well, thanks, Faith, for all of that today about the Philippines. It's really good to hear.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Okay, but we're not finished yet, so stay tuned, because now we went to and we spoke about Face the Music. And you were right, Faith. Face the Music is when you do have to confront something that is unpleasant. Every day we have to confront something that we make when we make mistakes, and especially the consequences of one's errors. So, for example, when he or she didn't pass their English exam, they had to face the music that they had to go back and pass it again. And they had to confront the problem that maybe he or she didn't work hard enough. Well, everyone, that's all from us today. But if you want to listen to this podcast again, don't hesitate to go on to YouTube, Your English Weekly. Also, you will find on our Your English Workshop website, you will find our next stages for children. You will find some of the speedy speakings, the conversation in English, and some of the activities that we do. Also, you will see our Facebook page with the expression of the week. And of course, you know I will be back next week for another podcast. So please share this podcast today. And of course, if you wish to have the script, you can just write us a message directly, or you can find me on LinkedIn. If you want to join this program, you can also find us there too. So, Faith, thanks again for coming to us today. It was really good of you.
Thank you.
Okay, and for all those listening, don't hesitate to stay tuned, because at 1 o'clock you're going to have the latest tendency with the decoration with Jessica. At 3 o'clock, we've got Joe, who's presenting his show, which is called Le Jeu de Mouvement, so moving your body. And tonight at 5 p.m. with Jean-Pierre, you have the Mat Cervelex 1 hour and 1 commune. So that's all for us today, folks. Thanks again for listening, and we will be very excited to have you back next week. And don't hesitate to look on our Facebook page, on our website, LinkedIn, and all the social networks. Bye to you from us at you.
Your English Weekly. Your English Weekly. La chronique 100% en anglais de Radio Grand Lac avec Sinead.
Radio Grand Lac vous accompagne sur le 92.1 FM.